with the 3. Some individual leaders for you. Hillary Hellman had 9 points in 16 minutes, went 1 of 2 from three-point land. Chicago is led in scoring by Mia Farrell, who hit both of her threes. She has 14 points. And the Spartans get back on the board. That is Emma Kane. Kane had 4 points, 4 rebounds, and is now 3 of 5 from the floor. Also for Chicago, it was Ola Obi, 10 points and 7 rebounds. Felt like a lot more than 7 rebounds what she had, but she now has points 11 and 12 as the Chicago lead goes back to 20. Also like to make sure we acknowledge that love our thoughts and prayers to be with Ron Jantz and his family at the moment. I'll be carrying you throughout the rest of the afternoon as it's an easy transition bucket there. Too easy right there. Mia Farrell has 14, now 16. As Farrell is the leading scorer on this Chicago team, although not by much, giving them 15 a night. And here is another fast break opportunity. It's a 2-on-0. It is Farrell again. She has 4 points, 2 field goals in maybe less than 20 seconds. So where do the Spartans go from here? What can they do with the players that they do have on the floor as it's a turnover by Hillary Hellman? And I think you would ask any coach, really at any conference, there's Jen Reimer, you'd ask any coach in any conference, what's the game plan when you only rotate 7 or 8 players? And it's incredibly tough because the players on the floor are going to get so many minutes. There's another easy layup for the Maroons. But, I mean, you look at the minutes that were played by the starters in the game on Friday. McConaughey played 32, Todd 35, Hellman 35, Kane 30. So it's understandable that their shots would come out a little bit flat, especially considering that they just played a game not even 48 hours ago. Nifty little up and under. Solid move by Taylor Lake. Lake now has 4. And the Maroons' lead is at 53-25. Spartans just looking for some kind of answers. Hellman was working down there. Drew a blocking foul on Mia Farrell, so she now has 3 fouls. Get another good look at it here. Size advantage for Hellman working in the isolation package. New shot clock for Case Western Reserve. About 2.5 minutes gone away in quarter number 3. Hellman with Dunbar guarding her will pull up and knock it down. Nothing but net there for Hillary Hellman. She is quickly approaching her season average of 17. Give Hellman 11 points, 9 of which came in the first half. Zone defense for Case Western Reserve. Hellman with a hand in the face of Dunbar, had to give it up. Good ball movement. Strong right-hander off the glass. Taylor Lake depositing one. She now has 6 points. Rollins down low to Kane. Had it stripped away. Well, Chicago just makes their living off of those with those turnovers, forcing 23 turnovers a game, most of which come during this 10-game win streak. Off of the dribble, Lake again had to give it away. Open for 3, left wing, and that's good. Miranda Burt puts it in. The Maroons have 5 players that have connected on double-digit three-pointers this season, so they can spread it. McConaughey went up strong. Little contact, but no whistle. And a pull-up jumper. That's good again. That's 6 straight points from Miranda Burt, and it is a Spartan timeout as the lead is widening for the Maroons. We'll be back in a minute.
Inova Living is a modern, amenity-rich residential community located in Cleveland's Greater University Circle neighborhood, offering studio, 1- and 2-bedroom apartment homes. Enjoy all-inclusive living with convenient on-site shopping, 24-hour concierge services, a 24-hour fitness center, resident lounge, and more. All within close proximity to Case Western Reserve University. Inova Living online at inovaliving.com.
Well, somewhere in September or October, one of those 2 months, the Spartans season dramatically changed when that young lady went down right there. That is Kara Hageman, who scored 1,000 points for the Spartans team. It only took her 3 years to do it, and she is gone for the season with a leg injury. And the Spartans team really looked like they were starting to turn the corner as a group, but the injury bug has not been kind to the Spartan women this year. Hageman was really one of the front runners to be one of the conference players of the year, as you see another steal by the Maroons. And an easy lay-in right there, so more transition points for the Maroons, who have now run their total up to 63. You look at what Hageman was able to do last year. She made Hillary Hellman so much better because, if you have a dominant player on the block, you can only have so many players come out to the three-point line and guard Hellman. So it has just dramatically changed their season in an instant. Spartans get the rebound. That was Rollins coming away with it. They get it across. Kane going up strong and lays it in with a right hand high off the glass. Count it. And a foul for Emma Kane, receiving that dish from Floyd and matched up with a much smaller Marissa Igenbor. So that is her first foul. Kane at the stripe. Just 41% on the season. But that free throw shot will definitely come with time. That went off the mark. Ambergy tipped it, but Spartans not able to save it. Ball in the hands of Madison Dunbar. On the give to O'Hara. Little two-player game right there, and nicely done. O'Hara with the setup and the finish by Banner. Banner has 4. Spartans down 65-29. And Floyd threw it away, or at least it looked like she did. Who's it going to go to? The official's going to have a word at center court, and it will not be Spartan basketball. Well, the turnovers were going to happen regardless of how healthy the Spartans were, just because of what the Maroons are able to do. They get 13 steals a game, 4 blocks a game. Pretty solid defensive unit. All sorts of passing action inside. And the Maroons are going to go to the free throw line. Chicago did not go to the free throw line in the first half. Spartans hit all 4 of their free throws, so give them credit there. Make it now 66-29. She'll split the pair. Kane the rebound, and here come the Spartans. Working down over to my left, and a reach in. Dunbar got up and personal with Jasmine Floyd and resulted in that foul there. So 3 fouls for Dunbar, and she's going to come out, and Mia Farrell comes in and replaces her. Spartans again only able to use 7 players in the first half, and the same story here in half number 2. Floyd tried to go up with it, came up short, and the Marooners get it back. Under 4 minutes to go. We are in quarter number 3 here at the Horsburgh Gymnasium. Spartan men came away with a win earlier today. And Farrell connects once again. And that was a 3, so Farrell has eclipsed the 20-point mark. Give her 21 on the afternoon. Rollins couldn't control it, so the Spartans give it back. Jen Reimer going to go into her bench. Really has not had that luxury, so to speak, today. Only a couple players off the bench to choose from. Darby Kreinenberg is that 8th player coming off the bench. Will take over in the post duties. Alexis Ambergy also back in the game. Rollins with 2 hands up. Obi off the mark, got her own miss though. Found Elizabeth Nye, that will also not go, and the Spartans get it back. Well, it is definitely something you can say about Ola Obi. She is as good a two-way player as there is in this conference. So active on the offensive glass and defensively, just alters a lot of shots. Open for 3, that is Todd. And Emily Todd finding the stroke from 3. She now has 5 points. That is her 27th three-point make on the year, just a couple short of Hillary Hellman's 31. Nye will try the same, drew iron, but off the mark. Hellman, here she comes. Ran into a crowd, but she shuffled her shoes there. It will result in a Spartan turnover. Here's another look at the fast break. He probably made it a point of emphasis. Anytime that Hillary Hellman can get out and run, she's going to have to do it in order to apply offensive pressure. Hellman tipped it. Stays Maroon basketball with 6 seconds coming off of the shot clock. Spartans have been in a zone defense just about all weekend. I think that's the right thing to do when you are shorthanded as they are. Try to use each other as a defensive presence. Inside, not going to go, but Taylor Lake will go to the charity stripe off of this little move right here. Kreinenberg's first foul. She had 2 hands up in the lane. That one in and out. Lake is one of their better freebie triers, 65%. Going over on that trip, however. As we're in the final minutes of the third quarter, Todd needs to give it up, but gave it up to the University of Chicago. Spartans will be exhausted after this weekend, that much is for sure. Blocked by Kreinenberg. Spartans take it away. Hellman will plant her feet for 3. You know, a little bit more muscle that time. Another open look. Farrell in the air. And she buries it. Been a good day for her. Shot the ball well. Scored inside. 24 points for Mia Farrell. That is well over her season average of 15. She'll pull it back. And now with the clock being the friend of the Maroons, they will lay it in instead. Boy, Taylor Lake had her eyes fixated on the Maroons bench the whole time, but instead she found a seam and makes it a 42-point lead for the Maroons. Well, if this Spartans team could just get healthy. If they could get healthy, we may have a change of fortunes here. You're hoping at some point that they'll get Alicia Marie Gonzalez back, which they should, but won't be able to say the same thing for Kara Hageman. Her NCAA career is most likely over in just 3 short years. Ball still belongs to Chicago. They'll make one change before the end of the quarter. It is Taylor Lake coming out and Megan O'Hara coming in. Plenty of time here. Hellman guarding Dunbar. Game clock down to 10. Now it's at single digits. Another clean look for 3. In the air, it's good. Burt puts it in. Took a shot to the deck, and she will have a chance for a 4-point play. Here is another look. Right in front of her team's bench, and that was Hellman going way up in the air, and there's the make. Been a while since we've seen one of those. The made 4-point play. Todd will get it. Hellman in the air, a little bit short. That'll do it. 3 quarters down, 1 to go. Spartans only working with 7 players, down big. We're going to quarter number 4.
Have you heard the news? The Intercontinental Cleveland has earned its 10th consecutive 4-Diamond Award from AAA in recognition of its high-quality accommodations and exceptional service standards. Planning an important event like a corporate meeting, annual conference, fundraising gala, holiday party, or highly personalized wedding? Choose excellence in the Intercontinental Cleveland. Our planning professionals will take time to consider every detail and lead you through an experience which is proudly world-class. Call us today at 216-707-4100 for more details or to request a tour of our spectacular accommodations.
Well, it has been one of those weekends for the Spartans. Injuries once again playing a major factor in the availability of some of the Spartans players. Well, all things considered, they did pretty well, and there's a good look at Mr. Fitzpatrick and Darius Inzar. Spartan men came away with a close win against the University of Chicago Maroon men earlier today. So at least for the weekend, the Spartans will take home 1 victory. But for Case Western Reserve, the women's team just need to focus on getting everybody back on the floor, especially Alicia Marie Gonzalez. It's a very different offensive team when the ball doesn't start in her hands, and she'll give them about 3, maybe 4 assists a game and gets a lot of players involved. Kane was defending the dribble drive. Chicago going back to the free throw line. Their activity at the charity stripe has really picked up here in the second half. They did not try a freebie in the first half, but these are trips 6 and 7 for the Maroons. They are the number 22 ranked team in the nation. They have won 10 in a row and will soon to be 11 here this afternoon. As in the rankings, they are ahead of Trinity of Texas, Messiah, and Sonny Janesco. That one goes for Emily Todd, so give her 7 points. As the Spartans' quest to find some scorers will continue, but Todd could definitely be one of those players. She gives them just under 10 points a night. Ball was coughed up by the Maroons, and the Spartans get it. McConico around that curl. Nice little give to Rollins. Out to the line. Todd, 3 ball. Not going to fall from the baseline. Not being in the final quarter. Chicago working at a much slower paced offense than in the previous 3 quarters. Chicago's also beat some pretty good opponents this year as well, as we mentioned earlier in the pregame. Short shot clock, it's at 4. Floyd defending, had to hoist it up, and it did not draw rim. That was a miss by Iani Banner. Go the other way, whistle at the other end. Clock stops with 8:16 to play. Madison Dunbar picks up her 4th personal foul, so she's going to come out. And the senior Nye coming back in. Jen Reimer would love to see more of that, as Emma Kane, really the Spartans' best available option as a presence on the block, has come up all the way to 10 points, looking for 11. So no 3-point conversion play there. Spartans in that zone once again. 3 ball is long. The Marooners got it back though. Banner couldn't connect, and Kane went down hard to the floor, but she looks to be all right. Fouls on the Spartans. So Emma Kane has number 3. But at this point in the 4th quarter, she's probably not going anywhere. Hillary Hellman will replace McConico. Been a quiet day scoring for Kendall. Just 2 points. Kendall just didn't have much of an impact on this game after she picked up those 2 early fouls. There's a major factor to blame there. Todd scanning the floor. No look pass. And gets it to go. How about that? Well, that looked like the ball was going to leave her hands and go to Hillary Hellman, but instead it results in a Emily Todd 2. She got 9 points now. There's the cut. Lost it. Spartans had it for a moment and threw it away. Well, take a look at the last several games for the Spartans. They got out to a pretty decent start offensively out of conference, but lately they have scored 61, 47, 41, and 57. Timeout on the floor. We'll take 1-2. Back to the Horsburgh Gymnasium in just a minute.
Inova Living is a modern, amenity-rich residential community located in Cleveland's Greater University Circle neighborhood, offering studio, 1- and 2-bedroom apartment homes. Enjoy all-inclusive living with convenient on-site shopping, 24-hour concierge services, a 24-hour fitness center, resident lounge, and more. All within close proximity to Case Western Reserve University. Inova Living online at inovaliving.com.
Well, this has been one of the lone bright spots for the Spartans here today, as Todd just kind of hoisted up a left-hander, went high in the air. Don't think it ever touched glass, but sometimes guess the ball bounces your way, and it did for Todd on that highlight. Spartans get it back. The 5 on the floor includes Hellman, Rollins, Todd, Jasmine Floyd, and Alexis Ambergy. As Hellman had it stripped. Chicago coming the other way, down to my right and your left on your screen. Floyd with some excellent post defense, but the Maroons somehow chase it down. Well, the Spartans have hustled here today. All things considered, just about everybody playing 30-plus minutes in each game over the weekend. Another offensive rebound for the Maroons. And Marissa Giggenbauer was maybe slapped on the wrist there, but no, they say it's Spartan basketball. This Case will get it. How about that post defense there from that young freshman out of Lakota East? That was Jasmine Floyd. Protecting the rim. Ambergy slides around on the give. Rollins in and out. Rebound to Chicago. We brought this up a couple times before. In terms of season averages, the Maroons only out-rebound their opponents by 1. But it has been all Maroons in that department here this afternoon. Rebound to Floyd that time. Hellman will plant her feet, and that is good. Hellman swishes a 3, give her 14 to lead all Spartan scorers. And she is now just 3 points short of her season average. Give her 33 triples on the season. That's obviously well short of her mark a season ago, but still good enough to be one of the leading three-point shooters on the team. That's a very tired Spartan-looking team. They've really been racking up the minutes here with 2 games in 3 days. Well, we talked about the benefits of playing a game on a Sunday afternoon after a Friday evening game. Is that if the Friday game doesn't go well, then you can have a short enough memory to feel refreshed and come out confidently in the Sunday game. But even with that being said, as Chicago nails another jumper, that is Jada Kanena. That means you're playing 2 games in less than 48 hours, and most teams will probably rotate most, if not all, of their players with 2 games in that short time frame. But the older teams in this conference, they're definitely used to that, so they don't particularly have to rotate as many players. But if you're a young team like Case, you have to rotate just about everybody that they have, and you can see it in just about every way. The Spartans, with only 7 players in this rotation, maybe 8, with Darby Kreinenberg. She's on the floor right now. Little give from Rollins to Todd, and sails out of bounds. Sounds like we're going to get a timeout from the University of Chicago. It is their head coach calling a timeout, so we'll take a short one as well, coming back to the final 4 minutes here.
Have you heard the news? That Intercontinental Cleveland has earned its 10th consecutive 4 Diamond Award from AAA in recognition of its high-quality accommodations and exceptional service standards. Planning an important event like a corporate meeting, annual conference, fundraising gala, holiday party, or highly personalized wedding? Choose excellence in the Intercontinental Cleveland. Our planning professionals will take time to consider every detail and lead you through an experience which is proudly world-class. Call us today at 216-707-4100 for more details or to request a tour of our spectacular accommodations.
Chicago 85 and Case 41. Quick shout-outs to our videographers as well as the video replay. That's Brian Landers, and there's the man himself, Mike Becker. Outstanding crew working hard here on a Sunday afternoon, all weekend long, really. So Rebecca Rollins has her first foul. Spartans do not have one to give, so that was their 4th. Spartans will need to get healthy in a hurry because they will not play in this building again until February. They will host Brandeis on Friday the 2nd, and then that's the start of a long home stretch He'll play 2 weekends in a row in this building as Todd unloads a three. It's off the mark. And Chicago gets the board. That home stretch will be, that'll be it for the 2017-18 season. They'll have Brandeis, New York U, Rochester, and Emory, and they'll finish the last 3 games on the road as there's once again Jasmine Floyd guarding on the block. She had a couple of good defensive stops in the post earlier, but not on that possession. And especially considering that conference play has just begun, Spartans could definitely use some health. So they had number 22 Chicago today. They'll have number 7 Rochester on Friday the 9th, and then of course they go to Chicago later on in February on Sunday the 18th. And prior to conference play, the Spartans had 2 ranked teams that were featured on the schedule as Todd was fouled there. Looks like it's going to be a reach-in on Banner. The Spartans had number 21 Marietta. That was in the Smokey Ballinger Classic tournament in Westerville. Then they had to go to Ohio Northern in November. That is not a fun place to play. And I actually would know because, you know, back to my Baldwin Wallace days in the OAC, Ohio Northern, very hostile environment to play in. So that schedule, once again, has been brutal for the Spartans as Todd's jumper was deflected. And the Maroons get it back. Drive right to the lane, a little bit short, rebound to Ambergy, and here she comes. Across the timeline, tried to post up Kreinenberg, but it was stolen away. So moving forward, the winning formula for Case Western Reserve is going to be offense, as they have scored 60-plus only 2 times in the last 10 games, it looks like. They scored 62 at Otterbein back in late December, and they scored 61 on Friday against Washington, as there's a jumper for Emily Todd. It's a 2, it's a deep 2. So she has 11. But offensively, Case with they did score 86 in that Worcester game, so actually they've scored 60-plus 3 times in the last 10 games, but they had 49 in that Ohio Northern game, 51 versus Kenyon, 51 versus Baldwin Wallace, 62 against Otterbein, 40 against Marietta, 57 against Carnegie Mellon, and they're probably not going to hit 50 here today against another ranked opponent. It is Ambergy at the free throw stripe. Get another look at it. Strong baseline move. Teed up a jumper. Was obviously too deep, but good enough to draw contact. So the Spartans will continue their search for their first UAA win. They will drop to 0-5 in the conference and 3-12 overall. The Maroons are yet to lose a game in the conference at 5-0. And this will make them 14-2 overall. Getting inside and laying it in. As Marissa Igenbar, first-year player out of Wisconsin, has 8 points off the Maroons bench. Another steal right there, and the shot clock is turned off. Spartans will next be in action this coming Friday at Brandeis. The next time you will hear from either myself or Ron will be on Friday, February 2nd. That'll be at home versus Brandeis. It's a good hesitation move right there by Todd. Looking for points 12 and 13. Well, today's game didn't draw too big of a crowd, and the Friday evening games rather usually draw a bit bigger of a crowd than most. That's the student section game, the whiteout game as it was on Friday night. Most people probably getting ready for the conference championship games in the NFL, but that'll do it. Your final score, the University of Chicago Maroons 91 and the Case Western Reserve Spartans 46.